I suppose this film's tagline, "Succumb to the Darkness," is an apt sentiment in the age of global warming and yet another Trump era. This vampire movie is perfectly watchable. You may feel inclined to nap during it. Don't worry, you won't miss much.
What are you, retarded? So I know you're not retarded, but what are you, Down syndrome?
So every now and again, I like to sit back and look at negative reviews of movies that I liked, and really just stare in bewilderment at what people say they didn't like about it. Now yes, everyone is entitled to their opinion, this is true, but that doesn't mean I'm not allowed to disagree or even laugh at those opinions, especially when they put it out there for everyone else to see, including me. Trust me, I got some hot takes, so I get it. I believe the last time I did this, I was talking about Godzilla x Kong. I found that movie to be just a fucking blast, but it seemed a lot of people, mostly critics, just didn't like it at all, and kept comparing it to -1. So back when that was going down, I made a few videos about it, and that was honestly the last time I did something like this. And recently a little film called Nosferatu released, and even though the reception is mostly positive, I got curious and was wondering what were people saying that they didn't like about it. I wanted to see the absolute lowest ratings and see why people didn't like it, and so that's what I did. Typically I use Rotten Tomatoes for videos like these. I have a lot of issues with Rotten Tomatoes and how they present their scores and whatnot, but if you want a good snapshot about what people are saying, usually it's not bad for that. But then I remembered Letterboxd exists, and man, it's an untapped goldmine for videos like these. Now, ironically, you would think that I would love Letterboxd because it's a social media website that's about movies. But man, so many people take this site too seriously, so I really can enjoy it. I mean, yeah, not everyone on here is terrible, but the majority of users that I've seen really take this app way too seriously. I actually don't remember the last time I was even on this site, or what my last quote-unquote review even was. Wait, I have 800 followers on here? That's more than I have on Instagram. Though I will say I do like how easy it is to find negative reviews on here. I can just filter out the ones I want to see. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this.
Called his mistress over and put 10 inches on her forehead like Peyton Manning.
Genuinely garbage. My time is worthless, and this was somehow still a waste. They did not have to make him that ugly. I could feel my soul wreathing every time his hideous ass made it on screen. Borderline offensive. Terrible. Don't even. Throw up emojis. Like, this is all on the first page. This is amazing. But back to the first review. Yeah, Count Orlok is fucking gross in this. I love it. Fell asleep for most of it. Kind of boring, to be honest. This was so ass. Too many sex scenes. And why do they moan all the time? Yeah, Little Rose Depp was just like moaning when Orlok was infesting her dreams. And it's only like one sex scene. What are they talking about? Now, in my previous video, I did mention that some people really do find this movie boring because it is very slow paced. And also, you know, it's Dracula. It's Nosferatu. It's a 100-something-year-old story that's been retold dozens and almost hundreds of times. And in terms of plot and story, it only adds in a few new things here and there. But stylistically and the way it's told, I think it did a pretty damn good job. Couldn't tell these whiteys apart and was so confused. Worst movie I've seen my whole life.
So that's what that feels like.
During the movie, I daydreamed of leaving the theater and scrolling through Instagram Reels because this was so mind-numbingly boring. That was 2 hours and 12 minutes of my life that I will never get back, although it felt like 5 hours. Horriblest movie, you must bounce on it. It might surprise you to know that I find Eggers to be one of the more tolerable of his ilk, but this was total shit. All the praise has clearly made him go fully up his own ass, and everything here feels like certifyingly the Eggers trademark brand instead of doing anything interesting or new. Dude has one note. It looks awful. I hate the "look at us, we are so centered and neat" style cinematography. I burst out laughing when Skarsgård first appeared and spoke, and when Depp's Nepo baby tries to act. Also, it's not helped by being the 100th version of the Dracula story, and please stop. People have done everything there is to be done with it. There's been serious Dracula movies, funny Dracula movies, anime Dracula movies. Dude, he's so angry. There's been a dozen miniseries, and that one cheesy NBC show. He's fought Blade, Wolverine, Batman, and a bunch of kids. He's been portrayed by everyone worth seeing him played by. There's been Lady Draculas, and Blackulas, and British Draculas. They put Dracula in the year 2000 and made 2 sequels. They put him in the year 3000 in space. What's left after that? There's no more milk on the cow. The well is dry. Dracula has become a trite destroyer of creativity. And yes, I know what you might say, but Eggers, isn't it hypercritical of you to complain about seeing the same story multiple times when you gladly watch 500 versions of the same action movie? To which I have a long, well thought out video response right here. This man is crashing out. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, this story has been told time and time again, which I mentioned before is probably his biggest flaw. You already know how it's gonna go. It's fucking Dracula. But to get this angry over it is honestly something to behold. gold. Oh yeah, if you're wondering, the little video he linked is just a rickroll. Because yes, it's 2008 and that's still hilarious to do. Okay, let's go back to the shorter, more funny ones. That guy was just tweaking. Really? Did it need 2 fucking hours to fuck this mustache ass? You shan't be serious. Gay Beetlejuice. Dude, so mid. Great acting / actors, but ass plotline. Vampires haven't been good since TVD left cinemas early. Hated every second of this movie. Nosferatu sinks its teeth into gothic horror with a hauntingly beautiful atmosphere and stellar performances. The pacing is perfectly measured, drawing you into its shadowy world without... What the hell is this? Is this supposed to be a half-star review? Blah, 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 blah. With all that being said, I'll be giving this one a reluctant Taylor Swift. I think it's like an inside joke or something. I don't know. What the actual crap was this shit? I couldn't understand half of what they were saying, and this is just awful. Do not recommend. Would never watch it again. I'd give it 0 stars, but I can't. So, I give it half a star. What the fuck? I'm not reading all that. As I was scrolling, I kept seeing these little messages right here saying that the review contains a spoiler, so let's check some of these out. I haven't even watched this shit. I just assume it's buns. Okay, what about another? WTH. Okay, another one. Horny vampire dies for pussy. Oh yeah, that's going in the thumbnail. Okay, one more. What do we got? Oh yeah, fuck that. I'm not reading that. It's outrageous. A complete laugh riot. A ludicrous amount of effort to make such a twaddle. Eggers has shown now after 2 dud films that he hasn't got what it takes to make a fully rounded movie. Or maybe he just finds it amusing submitting silly films to the general public. Really? 2 dud films? You didn't like The Northman? I thought the show was pretty badass. I liked it a lot. But I have been seeing this shift with Robert Eggers, and it happened around the time of The Witch and The Lighthouse. Basically, The Witch and The Lighthouse are seen as like his last pure movies, I guess you could say. And then The Northman onward is seen as more as his mainstream stuff. So some people really did like The Witch and The Lighthouse, but really didn't like The Northman and now Nosferatu. I mean, to me personally, I enjoy all these movies. I don't think he's fallen off in quality at all. Incredibly bad. So boring and not scary at all. Terrible acting. Nosferatu's accent was shite. And Lily Rose Depp was poor. Minor spoilers here, but it made no sense to how they all had British accents in Germany, which Nosferatu travels to by boat from Romania. Everyone is saying this film is beautiful, yet is just dull with no redeeming features. It's kind of interesting. This is like one of the first people I've seen to mention that it's not a good looking movie. It's a beautiful ass movie. It's great. If anything, I usually hear the inverse to where there's no plot, or that the plot's incredibly simple because you know it's fucking Dracula, and that's mostly carried by its style instead. Here they're saying that not only is it super dull and boring, but it has no style. Too scary to watch. I like how this one directly contradicts the last one. The guy said it wasn't scary at all. Though to be fair, it's a half-star review, so they're probably just trolling a little bit. When an ugly bitch calls you twin. Fucking ass. Robert Eggers owes me $23.52. This movie was utter crap. It jumps all over the place and is a weird sex movie. Garbage. What the fuck was that? Wanted to leave. Painful to watch. Ew. I was praying mid-movie to ward off these awful spirits. Also, like, what the fuck? Why Ellen? Poor Thomas. He just couldn't read devil language and signed his wife away. And then was assaulted by a prehistoric skeleton. He's so bony for her, no pun intended. Bye. Nose for Hawk Tua. I actually hate the internet sometimes. I paid $19 to watch Lily Rose Depp have sex with a demon for 2 hours. No lie, these reviews are making me wonder if we even watched the same movie. I wish my eyes bled out before I watched this movie. Beneath criticism. Disgusting and no leg day. Nosferatu is either busy playing innocent light flickering pranks, or taking a woman's virginity and obsessing over her for centuries, while simultaneously wiping out entire towns. No in between for that guy. Ayo, this was probably the dumbest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there. I think you get the point. I just wanted to showcase some of the really bad reviews that are on here. But those were also the absolute lowest of the low, half-star ratings, by people who just genuinely did not like this movie. As you can tell, a lot of it was pretty damn funny and a little unhinged. But all in all, I had a blast reading these. Yeah, I don't got shit else to say, so see ya.
On a full moon, I'll fuck anything.